already have these concepts available. We are reviewing for our homework for the week. This is Authentic Patterns in Our World. So you are reading what it says. I'm not going to go through and read everything to you, but it talks about the information you're going to see here. It tells you to draw what the bean plant will look like on day 4 and 5. So this is the same thing that we just did with our patterns. Pay attention, please. Drawing on our leg is not focused. So day 1, if you look at it, on day 1, there's 2 leaves. On day 2, wait a minute, day 1, there's 2 leaves. Day 2, there's 3 leaves. And day 3, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 leaves. So what is the rule here? How many is it growing by? McKinley? McKinley?
Oh, yeah, McKinley. It's growing by 1.
By 1?
No, it's growing by 2.
So let's look at it. So from day 1 to day 2, it increased by 1. Because there's 2, and then there's 3. So it increased by 1. Whew, my brain feels like it is going so fast right now. So from day 2 to day 3, how many did it grow by? How many?
2.
2. So you can see that each day it grows 1 more. So plus 1, plus 2. So till day 4, how many do you think it's going to grow by? Plus 3. And then probably for day 5, it's going to grow by plus 4. Did you write that on your paper? Because I don't want anyone saying they didn't know, I didn't hear you, I'm confused, I'm lost. So when you draw it out here, you need to draw it so that those pictures reflect that. So then on part 2, it says, how tall will the plant be on the 7th day? You're going to create an input-output table to show the information, but you got to go back up here and read. It says the plant measured every day grows by how many inches? 2 inches every day. So on day 1, this would probably be what? It's going to start at 2 inches. So day 2 is going to be what? 4 inches. Day 3 is going to be 6 inches. Create an input-output table to reflect that information for number 2. If your Takis is keeping you unfocused, we're going to take the Takis. Okay, let's look at number 3, please. Not number 3. The next, the next page, please. This is a giraffe's neck. You're going to read through this because I want to know that you can read and understand what you're reading, because you're going to be required to do this on your assessment. You're going to have to be able to read what it's asking from you and be able to give it back. So you do the same thing. How tall will the giraffe be in 5 months? It tells you up here what the growth of the giraffe is. It follows a rule. It says 12 times a month, add 60. Okay, so it grows 12 inches a month for the first year of its life. So 1 month is how much? 12 inches. 12 inches, 2 months is what? 12 times 2. 12 times 2. 24 inches. and keep going. And then it asks, how tall will it be at 5 months old? Then go through the process. Because this is just like stage 4 and stage 5. Draw and complete a table to show the giraffe height for the first 7 months. I don't want you to answer it. I want you to answer it on your paper, not out loud. But you have to draw and complete a table. So you can do an input-output table for that one. Multiply times 12 per month. In what month will the giraffe reach 100 inches tall? It says explain how you were able to find your answer. You can work it out as a problem. That's fine, but you are expected to explain. Sorry, I wasn't. You are expected to explain. It's not there for decoration. It's there for you to actually answer it. Okay, any questions about page 1 or 2? No questions? Everybody's clear? No one's going to go home and tell mommy, I don't know what to do. She didn't go over it with me. Yeah, y'all been doing that a lot lately. Not funny. Go ahead, please, Madison.
Madison.
Oh.
Oh, yeah, Madison.
Go ahead, Madison.
Every month is times that number.
Yes. 12 times that number.
Say you like 6 months, it would still be 12 times 6.
Yes, ma'am. 12 times 6. Yep. All right, good job. Thank you for that question. All right, and the final page is pretty much the same thing. Pretty much the same thing. I want to see that you can read through this on your own. Remember, it is still a pattern. You have to read. You have to read. You just can't jump down to number 1. You can't just drop to number 1. You got to read what it says for skyscraper construction time lapse. You must be able to read and understand what it's giving you. And then use that information to produce your answers. I'm not going to read this one for you because it's really the same thing you did with page 1 and page 2. This is skyscrapers though. But you got to read it. Take your time in reading. Stop rushing through the reading. Read one sentence at a time. Stop at that period. Make sure you understand what it says. Read the second sentence. Stop at the end of the sentence and make sure you understand what it says. If you're running all the way through and just calling words, you're not reading. Reading comes with comprehension. So you've got to make certain that you stop. You have to stop sometimes and take note of what did I just read. If you get to the end and you don't know what you read, then you didn't read. You called words. And believe it or not, adults do it too. You know how many times I have to read something over, be like, wait a minute, I don't even know what it said. I read it, but my mind floated off to what's for dinner. Did I put my roast on? Oh man, I think I forgot to put the potatoes on the roast. Sometimes my mind wanders as well when I read. Adults do it too, so don't think that you're the only ones that do it. But you have to be taught that when you get to the end and you don't know what it said, you got to go back and reread it. If you're noticing you're doing it a lot, that means you've got to read it sentence by sentence. Stop. Make certain you know what you read, and then keep reading. Don't keep reading and you don't know what you read. That's going to be mine, 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 and mine. It took about 15 minds before you even knew I was speaking to you. So that tells me you're not focused. And you stopped instruction for me to have to correct you. That's not okay. Tell your friends I'm sorry. They can't hear you because I didn't hear you. Thank you. All right, any questions about page 3 as you're looking over it? It's already told you that each of the building is one of the stages of the pattern. Yes, ma'am. Look at what it asks you. Okay, if it asks you for inches, then you have to give the inches, okay? Okay? All right, any other questions? All right, and that is your homework for the week.